Sanjeev Bijli, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you so much, Vishal. How are you?
Very good, sir. How are you?
I'm
So,
good.
sir, Jawan has opened to the packed houses across India. You are the
Yes.
executive director of PVR INOX Limited, India's largest cinema chain.
Yeah.
Over 500,000 tickets of Jawan were booked in advance. What does this mean for the exhibition sector, apart from making a lot of money?
I mean, of course, the exhibition sector and the Hindi film industry or the Indian film industry, not just Hindi films, are joint at the hip. We're the retail face of cinema, and they are the very important content providers. So we're a conduit through which, this talent that we have, all India, is able to showcase the movies that they produce and make. And for us as a cinema exhibition company, it's important that raw material and which is the content really works. And as you said, I mean, everybody, of course, benefits in a monetary way in the value chain. The exhibitors, the producers, the distributors, the actors, and all the other talent that goes behind making a film. But I think at this time, it's even more special because everybody knows that we've come out of a very difficult time because of the pandemic, being locked down for 2 years and then opening up with restrictions. And then once we opened, we had a very good Q1 last year with films like RRR performing very well. And then suddenly there was a lull for 9 or 10 months when nothing seemed to be working at the box office, apart from, a few films here and there, including Shah Rukh's Pathan. And I think it was a sign of worry. It was a sign of introspection. But now we've seen that with Jawan, again, opening very big, and the last couple of months also being extremely encouraging at the box office. We believe that cinemas are back to stay, and a very delayed revival of our industry is now on the cards.
Then how many screens has Jawan got like across India?
Jawan has released across 4,500 screens in India. PVR INOX is about 1,100 screens, and then the rest of the country is about 3,400 screens. I think we're getting some overwhelming numbers, not just numbers, is looking to cross about 65 crores opening day. I hope it reaches 70 crores. And not just the numbers, but also the word of mouth and the reviews have been very, very positive.
It is becoming a new trend in Bollywood now to show huge advance booking numbers to the public. It also works as a great marketing tool for a film to get a good opening. As the largest multiplex chain, do you open advance booking for all films, or is it only reserved for the starry vehicles?
No, we open advances for almost all films. I think typically we open advances maybe on a Tuesday, if it's a Friday release, or sometimes on a Sunday if it's a Thursday release like today. So it really varies when we open the advances, and is that something that's done in consultation with the producers. Because there are people who want to watch movies, whether it be a big star cast film or a big film, an event film such as Jawan, or even sometimes some medium budget films, there are still consumers out there who want to watch the films first day, first show, or first day at least. I mean, there is that enough enthusiasm and keenness to watch movies on the first day. So there are advance sales that happen for every film. Of course, the quantum of advances for Jawan are just incredible. And it's amazing the kind of fan following Shah Rukh Khan has and the kind of anticipation people had for this movie. That's just been overwhelming.
I have another question for the mid-budget movies, but Indian exhibition sector has experienced a sort of a revival, especially from July to now. Do you think Bollywood need to make more films which are massy in nature, like Pathan, Gadar 2, and Jawan? Because a lot of mid-budget films are going straight to OTT.
That's the nature of the business. There's a very famous quote that if we knew what works, then we'd all be film producers, because because that's the best way to make money, and you get fame. So the nature of the business is as such that you never know what works. And of course, no producer or no actor goes out to make a flop film. They all feel that they're making a film which will resonate with the audiences and will do well. And you don't go out to make a film with this preconception that am I making a big movie or a big mid-budget film? If you have the content has to be good, it has to resonate with the audiences. Of course, you have to mount it big. And I think the days have come where, because you're watching the film on a big screen, you need to mount it big as well, so that the whole experience gets amplified. That is the reason why even international studios and Indian studios are actually spending a lot of money. The budgets are going higher and higher. You hear of 200, 300 crore budgets, because we're spending on storylines, most importantly, and also VFX and post-production, and all that basically that enhances the film so that it looks wonderful on the big screen, and people actually end up getting a differentiation as far as big screen is concerned versus an OTT is concerned. But there'll be a mixed bag that will come out. It's not possible for any industry to keep making just big budget films because you need the budgets for that. But I think it'll be a mixed bag of films that will keep getting released. And there'll be mid-budget movies that will also do well, which used to happen in the past. And it's happened again with Dream Girl 2.
Sanjeev, so you've been distributing a lot of Hollywood films from many years now. What has changed? Do you see an added interest by Hollywood studios after the RRR win at the Oscars?
Yes, I mean, I think Hollywood studios have become a lot more aggressive, and they've become a lot more enthusiastic about the Indian market. And it's not just the RRR win at the Oscar, but that's the glory for India. But the performance of Hollywood films in India, such as Avatar 2, Oppenheimer most recently, Mission Impossible 7 or 8 or whatever it was. So I think the successes of these movies have made Hollywood movies and Hollywood studios stand up and take notice of India more seriously. And I'm very happy that, Hollywood studios are releasing all films and all kinds of films in India, be it a horror or a comedy, small movies, big films, all kinds of films they're releasing in India, and they're seeing this as an important market.
Do they keep a watch on the holiday calendar of India as well?
Well, I think they do. And Avatar 2 came out in December, which is a good time to release a film because it's not full holiday, but you're preparing for holidays. These 10 poles, just as Mission Impossible, Barbie, and Oppenheimer came in the summer. But they're all day and date anyway. So they're looking more, I think, at the US holiday calendar, Labor Day, 4th of July, and all these holidays, and then releasing movies on the same day, because it makes more sense to release them on the same day.
While we make close to 2,000 films every year, the fight for a big Hindi film is still between 4,000 to 4,500 screens, while China has over 80,000 screens. Do you think India need more screens so that 2 or 3 big films can release simultaneously?
We have about, yes, you're right. China has a lot many more screens. And we definitely are under-screened as a country. But I can speak for ourselves. Post-merger, we have about 1,710 screens now. And we're still adding. So there is room for growth. And we're also looking at growth to fill that gap. And we're still adding up to 130 to 140 screens every year. And there are so many cities and places around the country which are under-screened, or which actually don't even have a screen or a multiplex.
Like?
There are so many cities in UP, for example, which are, under-screened. And even when you look at South India, apart from the big cities of Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chennai, there are so many smaller centers where you do have single screens, but you don't have proper organized retail and multiplex centers. So there are a lot of gaps in the market, and we see those gaps and we're trying to identify and fill those gaps. We may not sort of add screens as fast as China has. We lag behind in a lot of industries that way. But as far as cinema industry is concerned, we should be able to add about 150 screens per annum going forward as well.
But now everybody wants to know what I'm going to ask you now is why movie watching experience is so expensive in India? Why do we have so high ticket prices? Even the popcorn and cola are being sold at very, very high prices.
I just, first of all, the average ticket price in India, and not just in India, but I'm just talking about our circuit, is hovering between 250 to 260 rupees.
Not in Mumbai?
In Mumbai as well. You look at the average ticket price. I mean, we're not, I think where people sort of carry the perception of the ticket price is a weekend ticket price in Friday, Saturday, Sunday of a blockbuster film like Jawan. In a certain format, of course, that particular price is high, but average ticket price is about 260. F&B pricing, we did a campaign and we also reduced the pricing. If you remember, just recently, about 2-3 weeks ago, yes, we did a We Heard You campaign. Yes. And we were cognizant and heard the consumers, and that's what we're all about. Any consumer industries needs to obviously respond to what the consumer is saying. And we substantially reduced the pricing of our F&B products. And we got a phenomenal response, not just in terms of the consumption that has gone up in terms of people buying F&B, but also in terms of goodwill. I think people were very happy that we reduced the pricing. So I wouldn't want to revisit that again because it's been done. And I obviously, instead of bringing this up, I would have hoped that you would have said, good job on reducing the F&B prices.
Congratulations. Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Yeah. So then if I've done something already, then I don't want to be singled out for that. That's been corrected already. And as far as ticket price is concerned, again, it's something which is done in consultation with the producer, is done in consultation with them, with the whole community. And we've again got a lot of promotions going on. We have a lot of offers going on, buy one, get one free. We are also got a loyalty program, which basically enables you to earn points and then reduce the ticket price. And we're also, in a couple of weeks' time, launching a subscription plan, which will enable you to buy bulk tickets at a discounted price. So it's not that we're not doing anything about it. We are absolutely cognizant of the fact that the consumer has raised a voice against these issues and concerns. And we're working on the solutions. It's just that it takes time to work on solutions. And especially when, for an industry like ours, which is just coming out of a very challenging period, it takes time for us to sort of come up with something which is discounting the prices, So, but at the same time, I would like to take this forum to even complain about hotel prices or airline prices. And when was the last time you complained about that?
Always.
Always. So it is actually second nature. I think it's human nature to complain about all prices. When was the last time you bought an apartment and said this was cheap?
Then, which is the highest revenue generating territory for PVR INOX?
Right now, it's South India. South India, which is Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Hyderabad, Andhra, Telangana. Those are the highest revenue generators for us, simply because I think of the volume of films that come out in those territories, the propensity to spend, and the propensity to watch movies. The number of visitations in cinemas in South India is still much higher. So there, obviously, the people's love for cinema is just incredible.
I thought you would say Maharashtra and Hindi film. Are the ticket prices same compared to North India?
Where?
In down south?
North India is slightly higher, but it's almost the same as West India.
Now, how risky has been the theatrical business for you? Because for the longest time, much before these Hollywood studios who have now offices here, it was PVR Cinema who was showcasing these Hollywood films in India. Like I remember Summit Entertainment, the studio, the tiny studio who made Twilight films. Those films
Yeah,
were those films were brought to India by PVR Movies, PVR Cinema.
yeah.
Now, how do you decide which movies to buy and which one to skip from film festivals or from these tiny Hollywood studios?
Well, our PVR INOX Pictures division, which is a distribution division, is as old as our cinema exhibition company, which is 25 years now. And we do the festivals every year. We do 2 to 3 festivals every year. We kind of buy about maybe 25 to 30 movies a year. And the selection process of films is done by our team. There's a team of about 3, 4 of us who are based out of Mumbai, who travel with us to all these film festivals. And we decide on various criterias. I mean, it can be a blockbuster film like John Wick 4, which we had actually done on behalf of Lionsgate, or it can be a small Korean film like Past Lives, which we released back in June, July this year because we thought it was special. We also released a small horror film in July, August this year called Talk to Me, which we just took a bet on, because A24 was releasing it in the US. And A24, as you know, is a very prolific studio who puts a massive marketing might behind their films and makes something out of it. That film went out to do about $100 million in the US. And that film for us went on to do about 1.5 to 2 crores box office in India. Or a Japanese anime film, Suzume, which we released in May, did 10 crores for us. So it's really it's very intuitive. As the film business is very intuitive, and same like any other production house or distribution house, we also hedge our bets and end up looking at a portfolio of films, and hope that all do well. Not all of them do well, but out of the 20-25 films that we end up buying and releasing in India, at least half of them do well. That kind of cover up for the losses of the others. Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen in future. But
Yeah.
you've been in this business for many years now. What is the lifespan of a good theater? I mean, running a multiplex chain also means keep updating with the time to fulfill industry needs, like better
Mm.
picture quality, updating sound system, providing a wholesome experience to the patrons.
We basically have a kind of a formula which we've developed over the years in-house. And we follow that formula and end up renovating those cinemas. There are some properties and cinemas, like if we talk about Mumbai, Lower Parel or Malad, which are there for life, I think, because they're obviously, in some great developments, great catchment, great malls and great visitations. Those don't go out of style at all, or they don't go out of visitations. Those are the properties that we end up renovating, maybe after every roughly 5 or 6 years. And even if we don't renovate the entire property, we make sure that the seats and carpets and everything else that the consumer is looking at or using are refreshed every few years, few years. But at the same time, in our portfolio, there are certain malls which reach an end of product life cycle as well. So that we do have properties around the country where the mall only becomes very irrelevant or dilapidated or empty, the tenants leave. So those are the malls sometimes we need to exit. We actually get out of those malls because for us, it's important to be in a full development, in a full mall, whether it is retail, F&B, because this is the way the consumers consume entertainment now. And those are the ones that we end up sometimes exiting. But we're very cognizant of the hygiene factors and of the fact that we need to refresh our cinemas every now and then. And some cinemas, as I said, down south in Chennai, because of frequent visitations, need to be refreshed sooner, say maybe 3, 4 to 5 years. And some cinemas need to be refreshed, every 5 or 6 years.
You partnered with Aamir Khan and co-produced films with him like Jaane Tu Ye Jaane Na and Tare Zameen Par as well. What happened? Why you stopped co-producing movies?
Because we weren't doing well. Simply speaking, we didn't do well. We did Tare Zameen Par and Jaane Tu Ye Jaane Na. It was a brilliant experience. And it was brilliant to start a production company with 2 massive hits and having partnered with someone like Aamir Khan. But then we obviously made films that didn't do well, which was, a loss-making proposition for us. And therefore, we decided as a company, because we've always been a listed company, a board-driven company, and our board collectively decided that it's best not to look at this anymore and focus just on cinema exhibition company and put the capital there, because there was a lot of growth opportunities in cinema exhibition.
And finally, what is the big plan? You have this brand called PVR INOX now. We really want our cinemas to be the finest in the world. What is the next big goal that you have set for yourself that you want to achieve in the exhibition sector?
First of all, I think there's a lot of growth. As we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of growth opportunities. Even with the merger and 1,710 screens, we're excited about the new markets that we're entering. Just to give you an example, we opened in a place like Armoor last year, and we're looking at opening Dharwad on Sunday. We're looking at, opening in Machilipatnam and all these places that I hadn't heard of, honestly, earlier. But that's what I'm saying, that this is where the potential is. Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, of course, we will always be looking at growth opportunities here. But the growth opportunities in tier 2, tier 3 cities where India is growing, where the growth story of India will also come from. That's what they say. The second growth of India will come from all these smaller towns and cities, because that's where people will end up having disposable income now. And all brands are looking at these. So that's what's exciting us a lot, that we have this massive growth potential from all these smaller centers that haven't yet experienced multiplexes. Plus, cleaning up the circuit. We have a circuit, as you said, which is a little dated. And it is a proven fact that when you refresh or renovate your circuit, then you do end up enhancing your revenues. Every seat has to be comfortable. It has to be good. We're calling our new campaign Kissa Kursi Ka, and making sure that every kursi that we sell is extremely comfortable for all our patrons. Plus, there is so much that is happening on the technology front, because I think the industry as a whole is aware of the competition with streaming and OTT. And the cinema industry is pushing the envelope in providing and coming up with new innovations and new formats, be it IMAX or 4DX or ICE. We launched ICE Cinema last year, and we've got 4 already. And we want to be able to roll out about 10 ICE formats. ICE is when you have visuals on the side panels also. So basically, instead of just in the front screen, you have screens on the side panels as well, which gives you an even more immersive experience. And that is something which I think the whole industry is coming up with new technologies, better sound, better projection. So we are able to provide a very, very good out-of-home movie experience. Plus, there's so much more that we can do on the F&B side. So there's so much to be done, and there's so much excitement within the organization now, post this merger. As long as good content keeps coming, we just want to keep making sure that your experience is just incredible and wonderful.
Well, thank you for making our movie watching experience comfortable and memorable.
Thank you.
Time and best of luck, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.